Yeah, welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast Live, and this is the Sunday NFL wrap-up edition. NFL. So I got my main man, Transformer, with me. Transformer, what's good, man?
Man, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Maintaining. I think you got the wrong hat on, fam.
What?
Yeah, man. You know, it's the you normally wearing the Packers hat on Sunday night.
Oh man, no, it's right here. I just because I had my hoodie on. It's a little cold up here.
I got you. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Don't get it twisted, man. Let me go ahead and just throw that on top of it. All right, there it is.
No, I'm just saying, I know on Sunday nights you normally repping Go Pack Go, so I had to say it. But
where is my other hat?
Yeah, we'll take a couple minutes, see if we get a couple people in the chat, and then we go ahead and get it started, man. Oh, so wow.
There it is.
So you got the hat and the cheese, huh?
I got the cheese, man. You know, so I got the cheese man. Here.
Who you
the L today, but it's always Go Pack Go.
No doubt. I tell you what, man, we'll get into it a little bit later, man. But man, them damn Lions, boy, whew, they're looking like a machine right now.
They're tough, man.
They're tough. They are tough, man. I had some interesting games today. I don't know. Can't figure out Cincinnati. I have no idea what's going on there.
Can't figure out Cincinnati. No. I don't know what the Saints got going on.
Nope. Arizona up and down. No clue.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Cowboys are cowboying.
They are cowboying. That's right. But
Jags
we know they
had a nail biter, man. That was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
It was. I mean? But Trevor turned into Trevor.
Carolina came up with a win. That was, cool. Yeah.
Hey, them Rams. Hey,
them Rams.
Look out.
That's good. That division is going to come down to the wire, isn't it?
It literally is.
It looks that way. Yeah, it looks like it's down to the wire. Yeah. But
that's going to be very interesting.
Very interesting. You have, you got good teams in that division, but none that are seemingly capable of pulling away right now. But I mean, you still got the whole second half of the season, so we'll see what happens at this point. But definitely some good stuff. All right, looks like it's a little slow on the build up, but let's go ahead, man. We're not going to sit here all night, so let's get it going. So for those of you who are here, appreciate you. And you know what time it is. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you give us that like, that 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And finally, make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, set an alarm, do whatever you got to do to remember. Saturday nights at 7 p.m. we are live here on the Format Podcast, and we'll give you the opportunity to call in, talk to us, get at me. I love it. I can't wait. All right. So, as you know, Sunday nights, we're going to go ahead and do the NFL wrap-up of the slate of NFL games so far for the weekend, not starting on, but to include the Thursday night game. So, we will go ahead and get it going, and Transformer, let's do it, man.
All right, man. We had a good slate of games today. A lot of exciting games. Unfortunately for my Packers, that wasn't exciting this week. But, things to look forward to. I saw some ways that we can get it done. But we're going to kick things off with the game that literally just ended. The Vikings beat the Colts, man. Nice little back and forth, but it got towards the end, and, the Vikings got it done. They sealed the deal with the victory over the Indianapolis Colts and the dinosaur Joe Flacco, man. What you think about that game?
Man, look, man, y'all gotta stop with the derogatory terminology towards January Joe, man. That man is a champion, however long ago that was, but that man is a champion. A lot of guys greater than him are not. But no, the Vikings, they played well. They did their traditional thing of Flores calling a really good defense. Flacco didn't throw a touchdown pass, under 200 yards passing with an interception. They really locked up Jonathan Taylor. He didn't have the opportunity to really get going. The whole Colts running game was just stalled out, 19 carries for 68 yards, and you're not going to get much done that way. Meanwhile, Minnesota was able to run it effectively 32 times for 133 yards. So again, we talk every week about this balance, and I love the fact that we seem to be seeing it so much more in the NFL this season. 34 passing attempts and 32 rushing attempts. That's almost 50-50. So really good stuff. Justin Jefferson does Justin Jefferson things, right? 7 catches, 137 yards. So Sam Darnold played well. He played moderately well overall, right? He's, the percentage is high. He's got a lot of yardage, but 2 picks this game. If the Colts' offense had been able to capitalize, this is the game that they could have won. But again, shout outs to the Vikings defense, man.
No, they really did step up. Joe Flacco and Indianapolis coach really did have a shot. That very last drive, Joe Flacco got sacked twice by a guy I'm playing against in my fantasy league, Grenard. Jonathan Grenard, made 2 big time sacks, really, stopping that last drive. Joe Flacco just held the ball too long for me in that them final drives. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to back that Vikings defense up, with the run game, like you said. Jonathan Taylor, with the exception of the 13-yard run, pretty much a no-show for the most of the game. Right. And I think he was hobbled towards the end of the game as well. So, just an all-around great defensive effort, like you said, by Brian Flores, and Sam Darnold did enough to keep his team ahead. Threw some weird picks, but those come with the territory. And Justin Jefferson showing why he's one of the best in the league by doing what he does. Also had the game-sealing onside kick recovery. There you go. To, shut it all out for the Colts.
Yeah, no doubt.
Good thing about putting receivers out there, man. So overall, good game by the Vikings. They got it done. They're now second in our division, NFC North, and we're right there on their coattails. We have one more L behind them, but we are 0-2 in the division, so they do take the lead at 6-2. So I called them to win.
Yeah.
So they won. Whatever. Let's get off of them. All right. All right. So moving on, we're going to fast forward a little bit. Rewind a little bit. Thursday night game. The Jets got a dub, a much needed, well needed victory against the Houston Texans, and that horrible offensive line of the Texans. They got after CJ Stroud with the 21-13 victory on Thursday night. Aaron Rodgers really did pick it up in the second half. What do you think about that game?
So my thoughts were that Houston is the better team, but also remember we talked about it in the pick'em, and we were both saying kind of in the NFL where there's a lot of parity, it's hard to lose 6 games in a row. So we felt like even though the Jets aren't a particularly good team and they're not playing great, they were probably due. And that's kind of what came about. I'm not going to say you got the old Aaron Rodgers, but you got Aaron Rodgers playing better than he had played. But look at it. 211 passing yards, Aaron Rodgers, like that's, that's not special, right?
If you look at just the second half, it was amazing. It was amazing second half. I think he had like 30 or 40 yards in the first half alone, right? And then picks it up, 3 touchdowns in the second half. One hell of a catch by Garrett Wilson. That one-hander, looking, very Odell Beckham-esque.
Yes.
Still think OBJ's catch was a lot better because OBJ literally caught it with 3 fingers versus his hand.
Look, man, all these cats in these sticky gloves. But anyway. That's gonna be what it's gonna be, right?
Don't be hating. But the Jets got it done. The defense got it after CJ Stroud, 8 sacks, minus 56 yards due to the sacks. CJ Stroud is just uncomfortable back there now. Unfortunately, he's down big weapons, Nico Collins, and he lost Stephon Diggs to a season-ending injury. And Tank Dell, he did what he could. 6 receptions, 126 yards, but they couldn't get nothing going offensively, man. 11 for 30, completion, attempts to completions for CJ Stroud. That's ugly.
That's 2 games in a row he has played poorly by his standards,
Very.
So I guess the only good thing is even with all that, he somehow is not throwing interceptions. So he's still he still might be. I know last week he was terrible, but at least he's not throwing picks, right? So he's still giving his team an opportunity by not, wasting possessions. So there's that.
Yeah. But the thing is, they got to protect the kid, man. I think in the
Yeah.
last 3 games alone, I mean, he's close to 20 sacks,
There
getting
you go.
sacked 20 times. You know,
Not gonna
that's not
survive like
good,
that.
man.
No, it's
That's
not.
not good, man. But shout out to Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. They got it done. Him and Devontae Adams had that connection towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
7 receptions, 91 yards, a touchdown. Garrett Wilson, 9 receptions, 90 yards,
Mhm.
2 touchdowns. That'll get it done. You know, if you can play the rest of the season like you just did that second half against the Texans, then you have a shot in that conference. It really isn't locked up as of yet with that 6 and 7 seed. So they got a shot, man. They got a shot.
Mhm.
Houston Texans, I think, they really got to look in the mirror here shortly, in short order, because
It's
it's
6
starting
and
to get a
3
little
now.
ugly for them. Yeah. And with the way defenses can just load up on that line, I'm like, hey man, we can slow down CJ Stroud just by putting him on the ground,
Yeah.
right? Making him
Yeah.
uncomfortable early. So, I think they, really got to look in the mirror, man. Joe Mixon looked great on the ground, but it's only so much you can do when you can't,
Yeah.
move the ball downfield, right? So,
Yeah. The only other thing I'll say is I think part of this may be in the back of their minds, and I know that D'Amico Ryans is doing his best to coach against this, but I think subconsciously they know, man, this division is terrible. We're no matter what, we're still going to win this division and get into the playoffs. But
yeah,
you want to have good habits and be playing your best football by the time that rolls around. So I'm sure that D'Amico Ryans is trying to coach them out of that mindset. But we'll see. We'll see.
no, man, it's interesting, man. All right,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna move on. We have the Bills upsetting, but not upsetting, but beating Miami in a nail biter.
Nail biter.
Bass with the 61-yard kick
What?
to end the
Yeah.
game. He could have made it from 66, 67,
Mm-hmm.
honestly,
Right.
because it was straight down the middle. It had length
There's
on
some
it.
leg on that. Yes, sir.
It was a great kick to end the football game. But they beat the Miami Dolphins 30-27. Dolphins go to 2-6. Man, what do you think about that
Mhm.
one?
I think, again, I mean, I might have to say this every week, man. Tua, I owe you an apology, man. I owe you an apology because this football team and this offense looks so different with Tua at the helm than it did without him. And I don't know if that's on Mike McDaniels. I guess some of that's got to be on him. But yeah, the team looks much better with Tua in there, and they did a solid job. They ran the ball effectively, 31 for $149. Tua was 25 of 28. Now he wasn't, bombing away down the field. He's still kind of finding his way, getting back into that. But 2 touchdowns, no picks, and every time Buffalo did something, they
He
answered.
answered.
They being
Yeah,
Miami, they answered. So they look a lot better. It's just like Buffalo just found a way. They were at home and they got that last one. And boy, Josh Allen, man, I'm watching this dude, and I'm like, I don't know how G doesn't see what the rest of the world sees. Like Josh Allen is so freaking good. He's
he's
so
good.
good.
He's
He'd
a good
carve you up
quarterback.
in the pocket. He'd get out on the run. Like, G talks about he loves playmakers. That's what Josh Allen is. He's a playmaker. I don't understand how anybody can not see how good that guy is. But at the end of the day, Bills finished it out. They're 7-2, and they're very quietly, one of the class teams in the freaking conference. So
Number
we
2.
will see we'll see how good they are come. Yes, number 2. You're right. We'll see how good they are come playoffs. But this is a very good football team. But we've already seen them match up against Baltimore and get dismantled. So there's that.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Tua did look great.
Mhm.
Like you said, they answered. They ran the football more than they threw it. 31 carries, 149 yards. That'll get it done on the ground.
Yes, sir.
25 or 28 on the passing attempts. That'll get it done. But Buffalo was just that much better. Offensively, they were able to go down. It was a big penalty by, I forget what safety it was. I think it was Poyer. I think Poyer had the pass interference. Or no, unnecessary roughness. I think it was unnecessary roughness or pass interference that set up that game-winning field goal for the Buffalo Bills. But Miami offensively, you look at that game, be like, God dang it, man, we lost. But okay, we look better. Like we got Tua back, we look better. We just need to tighten things up on the defensive side of the football, and try to make that crawl back up, that climb back up. They're right there. They're at 12th at 2-6, but the 7th seed is 5-4. So it's not far away. 3-game, 4-game stretch. You can kind of turn things up a little bit you can kind of be in that mix for that 7th seed, but you got to get going now. This was a big game for them, but unfortunately, like we said, Buffalo Bills are better. And, at 7-2, they're second in that conference behind the undefeated boys that we're going to get into tomorrow. But, they're looking good. They're looking real good. Speaking of your conference and who's at number 3, your Ravens dismantled the number 1 defense in the league, the Denver Broncos. 41-10, man. I mean, everything was clicking from the run game. Lamar Jackson looked good. It didn't have a lot of attempts, but he didn't need them. Perfect passer rating, 158.3. It's your team, man. I'm going to let you take this one away. Go ahead, brother.
Listen, there's not too much to say about this. For me, this is a very simple thing in that when the Ravens play how they're supposed to play, I don't think there's anybody that they can't deal with, right? And that includes the champs. Because, again, we point back to it on opening night, and this is no shot at Kansas City because they're still the best team in the league. They're still undefeated. They're playing incredible defense, and they're still very good on offense. But the thing is this, they wouldn't be undefeated if not for, likely having a freaking big toe that's a little too big, right? Now, my dad always used to say, boy, almost doesn't count, right? But that shows you that Baltimore can play right with the champs. And when they are clicking like they click today, when Monken calls the game properly and when they do what they're supposed to do, man, it's insane. Like you said, the freaking Broncos had the number 1 defense in the league coming in, and we saw what the result was, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Lamar Jackson missed 3 throws all day, 3, 3, no picks, and I think I heard Sean Payton said something, I guess, prior to the game to the effect of like, and it's smart, but he probably should have just kept quiet about it. Their premise was try to keep Lamar in the pocket and make him beat you from there, which I get it because he's so electric once he gets free, right? Whether it's in the scramble drill, whether it's picking up the first downs or touchdowns with his legs. So the goal is to keep him in the pocket, but he's elevated so much over the last couple of years as a pocket passer. Like there's not really a whole lot you can do. Another 100 rushing yards from Derrick Henry, 2 more rushing touchdowns. Like I just like, what do you do? Zay Flowers, 5 catches for $127. Like, what do you do with this team when they're clicking? I think that is a serious question. Now, they don't have the prettiest record at 6-3, but this is a team. This is a team. They're weird. They can probably go on another 5-game win streak before Monken calls another dud, and then I don't know. But when they're playing how they're supposed to, this team doesn't lose. Go ahead, man.
No, you're absolutely right, man. You touched on everything, brother. I mean, it's just overall dominance from an offensive perspective. Denver Broncos, we know they're not anything offensively with their rookie Bo Nix back there. They're still trying to figure him out. He's not that bad, but they're still trying to figure him out. He got sacked 4 times. Right. He had the reception though. That was a pretty nice reception that Cortland Sutton threw to him in that end zone right there. And but other than that, I mean, you held him in check. But again, you just really flexed your muscles on the offensive side of the football. That's right. 34 carries to 19 passing attempts. But with those 19 passing attempts, you completed 16. You still happen to get 280 yards. Right. Got to get it done every time. If you don't have to throw the football that much, but you're running the football so effectively with the leading rusher in the league and Derrick Henry, just top to bottom, man, you guys just look better. Shout out to Lamar, man. He spread the ball even with the 19 passing attempts. He put the ball all over the place, man.
He did. That's right.
Zay Flowers 5 catches, Justin Hill 3 catches, Al Galore 1, Derrick Henry got 1, Mark Andrews a couple, Bateman got 3. Only person that didn't get a catch was Likely. He got a target, but he didn't get a catch. But that still looks good. Out of 16 receptions, you hit that many different receivers with your run game running so effective. So I mean, proof is in the pudding. 41-10. You guys got it done, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing I didn't like though is they gave up 122 rushing yards. It's the number 1 rushing defense in the, I was about to say in the country, thinking college football still, but they're the number 1 rushing defense in the NFL. You don't want to see him giving up 122, rushing yards, because what that does is give teams confidence that they can mimic that and that they can run the football, going down the stretch here. And you don't want that. You want to make these teams play one-handed. Brandon Bryce, what's good, my brother? You want teams to be having to play one-handed when you're going up against the Ravens, because you don't want them thinking that they can run it, right? So it has to be passing situations only. Now, with that said, Baltimore has a very leaky pass defense, but hopefully, down the stretch, they can get that under control. But yeah, they got to get back to completely shutting down the run. I think going into this game, they were averaging giving up like 58 rushing yards a game. So you want to get back to that. That's what you want. Real quick, my guy, Audric Estime, this is tough, man. He's got 5 carries, 35 yards. Go Irish. And this is funny. I know it's not a huge game, but he doesn't get a lot of time for whatever reason. I don't know if McVay just doesn't like him or what. He's averaging 6.3 yards per carry this season. Like, give this guy more touches. But anyway, just wanted to get that in there.
Had to, say something good about your defense, but like, yeah, man, Audrey Estime had 5 carries and 35 yards. Give him the ball more.
Hey, go Irish.
Despite one of them being a 21-yard run, but
look, man. Hey, that'll boost your average up.
All right, man. So moving on.
Yes. We gotta do it, man. We gotta do it.
Big D in Dallas.
Oh, okay, my bad.
No, not. We ain't got there yet. We're still on the 1 o'clock. Big D in Dallas. Another loss, 27-21 by the Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins out there looking Kirk Cousin-esque. 19 attempts, 24 attempts, 19 completions, 222 yards, 3 touchdowns, 30 carries on the run game, 100 yards. Not crazy with the run yards, but I do like the carries. But it was a dominant win by the Atlanta Falcons. It's a lot closer because of the last second touchdown by Cooper Rush. But again, another loss. Another day that Dak Prescott looks bad. He did go down with the hamstring injury, but by that time they were already down 27-13. What do you got about this game, brother?
Look, man, I don't expect anything from the Cowboys because Jerry Jones doesn't care about winning. He doesn't. He cares about the show. Did you hear his latest comment? That he's got his eye on signing someone, and if he does it on Tuesday, it'll be bigger than who wins the presidency. Come on, man.
Who you get, Patrick Mahomes?
That's the only thing that he could be, right?
He must be getting Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, man. So, comments like that show you that his focus is completely in the wrong place. And you told me all summer long when I was drinking the Kool-Aid thinking that, okay, this guy is finally serious about winning. He's going to make the right move. You were telling me, no, he just wants the headline, so
just wants the headlines, man.
You were right on that. But yeah, Cowboys are bad. And I love it. And, told him, hey, don't pay Dak, but you did it. And
but you did it.
Now you're getting what you get. And it's so funny that they played the Falcons today, because if you look at their careers, Dak Prescott, and besides having been in the league longer, Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott are the same player. I actually did a show about this like last season before you got on. But yeah, they're the same players statistically, like almost identical. So it's ironic that they played each other today, and we got what we got, man. But yeah, this is Cowboys just a bad team. I got no interest in them other than saying they're just a bad team, and it's humorous to me, man. It's humorous.
Let me help you out. Dak Prescott was seen on the sideline towards the end of the game saying, "We effing
suck."
So, I mean, that tells a lot right there. The first step in therapy is admitting that you got a problem.
Admitting
you got a problem. So, you leader of your football team on the sideline saying we fucking suck. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a sign right there. Like, okay, all right, we're bad. 3-5 right now. You said how Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott are very, very similar. Their numbers were very, very similar. Both had 24 passing attempts. One had 18, one had 19, but one had 133 yards. The other one had 222. One had 1 touchdown. The other one had 3. Right? Big change, bigger plays made by Kirk Cousins and that Atlanta offense. Darnell Mooney looking real good in the passing game. Still shocked that Kyle Pitts is just not getting. Coming out of Florida, you thought major things about Kyle Pitts. I
think he got 1,000 yards as a rookie, and after he ran into some injuries, and I don't think he ever recovered
from them. Yeah,
whatever.
But I think Drake London went down in that game as well.
Yeah, he did.
So hopefully he gets better soon because Atlanta is looking real good in that division. I think they're currently, let me see, they have the third. Yeah, they're number one in the division. So right now they have the third seed in the conference at 6-3.
And
looking real good.
They've beaten Tampa Bay twice, so I don't think they're going to get caught. Yeah.
No, and then the rest of their division just looks piss poor awful. We'll get into that in just a moment. But this look good, man. Dallas Cowboys, they got a lot of issues going on. CeeDee Lamb is expressing that he's unhappy there now, but we wasn't unhappy trying to get the contract.
Right.
You got the money, you got paid. So, what are you going to do now? Kind of over for you.
You don't get to complain now. I mean, congrats to you getting what you deserve for being one of the best, but yeah, you don't get to complain now. Shut the hell up. Go play ball.
Yep. You got to play ball now. You got to suck it up. You got paid because you're the best receiver, right? So let's go out here and act like one. Dak Prescott, you got paid because you're, the best quarterback that they can get. But, but you're the quarterback. So, we effing suck. You saying that, I'm pretty sure that locker room was looking at each other like, okay, yeah, we suck.
Oh, really? Yeah, what you doing?
I guess we do suck. But what are you doing to help us out?
Exactly. What you doing, QB?
Yo.
QB1.
So yeah, they look bad, man. Let me see, where are they at in the division? I think they're third, and it's running away from them. Philly's above them at 6-2, so it's not looking real good for Dallas. They're likely to not even sniff the postseason this year.
Can you imagine?
For the first time since Mike McCarthy's been there. So
yeah, you're right. Can you imagine how Jerry is looking at Washington like, damn, I wish we had that quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But hey,
it would help.
Yeah, sure would.
It would help. But since you talked about him, I'll go ahead and make Brandon Bryce feel a little better up in this chat. Commanders got another dub, 7-2 against the New York Giants. New York Giants tried to make a little bit of a comeback towards the end of the football game, but unfortunately, the Commanders defense did what they were supposed to do: shut them down, stop them.
I'm surprised this game was this close, actually. I'm sorry.
Exactly. No, you were right, because the first half stat from Daniel Jones was 4 of 6 passing attempts to completions. He had 0 yards. 0 yards.
How is that possible?
But in a touchdown. I didn't understand it.
I don't know how that's possible.
Understand it. How could you complete 4 passes, 0 yards?
I don't know.
But have a touchdown.
I just don't know.
That was bizarre. That was very, very bizarre.
Brandon, you're an idiot, bro.
That was very, very bizarre. But he picked it up in the second half. He tried to make that resurgence to come back. Ended up completing 20 of 26, 174, 2 touchdowns. Not too bad, nothing crazy, but like we said, the Commanders defense definitely got it done, man. What do you got? You got anything else on the game?
No, man, not a whole lot, man. Again, I think that. Clearly the Commanders are playing outstanding football here, right? I think they're still, when they go up against the cream of the crop teams, they're going to have a tougher time. Like we saw, one of their losses was against Baltimore. I can't remember who the other loss was against, but I mean, that shows a little bit of youth. Yeah, right. That shows a little bit of youth, but this is a really outstanding football team. Jaden Daniels doesn't make mistakes with the football. Now you see today, look at it, the rushing, 38 times for 149 yards. You know me, I love that. I freaking love that.
Without Robinson too.
That's right. Robinson. That's right. I mean, it wasn't one workhorse back. They spread it around, but still, that's how you win football games in the NFL. That's how you close out games. That's how you control the clock. All of those things, they really did well. Now, in fairness, the Giants also ran the ball well, 31 times for $164. So the Commanders can kind of shore that up. They let Daniel Jones get going in the second half. Every now and then he decides he's going to play well. But this game was much closer than I expected it to be. But regardless, I think the part of that is the division, right? We always talk about the division games. But the other thing is when you're a better team, you find a way to close those games out. Much like we saw with the Commanders and the freaking Bears last week, right?
Yeah.
There's no reason the Commanders should have won that game. Yeah. But what does that speak to? The Bears' lack of discipline and them just not being as good a team. So the better team.
If you got a corner back there talking to the crowd while plays going down, and then he turns around like, "Oh yeah, let me go get in this play real quick." And still get caught.
Absolutely.
Right?
Real quick, hold on 1 second, Transformers. So I didn't, for whatever reason, I didn't do this last week, but Again, the Commanders playing extremely good football, and shout out my main man JB. What's good, JB? Bears fan. So I've been enjoying your pain all week. So
yeah. Oh, okay. I thought there was an Irish joke in there. I'm like, man, who's on Irish
Irish joke? No.
Okay.
I had to shout out my man JB.
Yeah, man. Shout out JB, man. Appreciate the L. We took 1-2 in Green Bay, so just stay back there, right? Stay back there. Let the big boys be big boys in the division, man. Let us be big boys over here.
Yeah. I think Caleb too worried about his nail decorations and not what's going on in the meeting room.
I think I saw him like he got sacked and he got up and he went like this, like.
You're not serious. You bugging right now.
I promise. I'm like, look, God, he was looking at his hand. I'm like, is he all right? Did he clip it now?
Oh, that's terrible.
He got up like no, something's not right. Something's not right.
Bears.
But no, man, Commanders got it done. 27-22. They lost against the Bucks. That was the first game.
Okay, that's right.
Season. They lost against the Bucks.
I mean, those two good football teams, right? The Bucks
and
the Ravens.
The Bucks were great beginning of the season before all the injuries piled up on them. But they do play the Giants very, very close. Brandon Bryce, you're absolutely right. They beat them early in the season, 21-18, and now it's 27-22. So it's a very, very tight divisional football game. Looking at the standings, they're undefeated at home. So they do take care of home, 2-0 in division. So, the Commanders are looking very, very good in that division. Curious on what they're going to look like when they play the Eagles. You still got to play the Eagles twice. So, that division is definitely going to be up for grabs between those two teams.
Man. Yeah.
Definitely. All right.
They're going to punish the Cowboys, and I'm going to enjoy seeing that. But anyway, go ahead.
All right. Speaking of, I went to the wrong game here. We're going to move on over to Cincinnati, who was trying to make their resurgence as well. Yes. Joe Burrow looked great. Throwing a football. I mean, he did have a pick, but 5 touchdowns, 27-39 passer from completion to attempts. And, they got it done against the Raiders, but the Ravens lost against the Raiders, so I'm not going to say too much about that. But, they got it done, man. What do you think about that game?
No, I think I believe we both picked the Bengals here. We know they needed it. They're still in a deep hole. They still could possibly make the playoffs. Obviously, they got to go on one of those Bengals-esque type runs to finish out the season. Don't necessarily have the most accommodating schedule to do it. But, I mean, you're talking about the Raiders. This is a team that trots out Gardner Minshew and Desmond Ridder at the quarterback position. You got nothing offensively there. Obviously, you traded away your best guy in Devontae Adams. I was shocked Amir Abdullah was still in the league. I thought he was long gone. Shout out my brother there. But yeah, this is just a bad football team. And unfortunately, I think that what's my man's name? Antonio Pierce is going to end up paying for horribly poor front office decision making.
Horrible.
And he's probably going to end up paying with his job.
Horrible. No, horrible. I mean, everything about the Raiders right now is just horrible. Except Brock Bowers. He's the only shining light over there. I do like Brock Bowers, man. That boy, that kid is nice. I think he's going to be a premier tight end in the league. Got to get the kid a quarterback, man. You got to get the kid a quarterback. You throw the ball anywhere near him, he's going to make a play. 5 catches for 45 yards and a touchdown. But, I mean, every game he's making a play. He's getting in the end zone. He's finding a way to get it done. But they're just an awful football team. 21 carries, 60 yards. That's not going to get it done. Versus just Chase Brown alone having 27 carries, 120 yards, getting it done on the ground for Cincinnati. That's their first home win, by the way. They're 1-4 at home. But the good thing about the Bengals, and this is what's tricky about Joe Burrow, they had an ugly start of the season, but they're 2 spots out of the 7th seed. 2 spots out. Literally a game away. They're 4-5, and the number 7 seed is the Denver Broncos at 5-4. So, what I say, 4-9, excuse me, at 4-5. They're 4-5, and the Denver Broncos are 5-4. Literally flip the scene on that, and the Bengals are right there in that playoff spot. So they could definitely make that fight to get into that playoff spot. So it's going to be very, very interesting with them and what they do for the rest of the season. With the schedule coming up, I think they got a gauntlet coming up. Let me check their schedule just real fast. believe they play. Do they play the Ravens next?
You're the Bengals?
Yes, they do. They play the Ravens. So they got the Ravens, they got the Chargers, then the Steelers. So there are going to be 3 challenging games right there that are on your schedule in front of you. So
Man.
you got to come out of that gauntlet 2-1
You got
at
to try to win.
minimum.
I was about to say you got to try to win 2 of those, man.
You got to win two out of the 3 to stay relevant. That'll put you at 6-6 and keep you in that fight for that spot. So we'll see what we'll see if Joe Burrow does it again.
Yeah, after that, you can beat the Cowboys and the Titans and probably the Browns, and then you have a tough one against the Broncos, and you end with the Steelers. So yeah, it's not going to be easy, but clearly with how slow they started off, they're also going to need a lot of help from other teams in the conference. So
very true. Very, very true. All right.
You are right, Brandon. Antonio Pierce is definitely going to be the fall guy here. And it's not good for him, but we've talked about this, and he's going to end up taking the L. I would be completely shocked if he comes back as head coach next year.
Yeah. Because he didn't sign no contract, did he? I think he's still on his first
he did,
deal,
but
right?
They
threw a bread away. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they did a terrible job. They gave him nothing to work with. So
yeah,
it's bad.
All right, moving on. Oh boy, back to this very, very bad division that we call the NFC South. The bottom half, at least. The Carolina Panthers in the resurgence of Bryce Young. Comeback win against the New Orleans Saints. Quite a doozy of a football game. New Orleans was holding on to the lead for majority of the game, and then the fourth quarter, Bryce Young had a scoring drive to put them up 23-22, and Derek Carr decides to throw a fade route on a play that you only needed 4 yards on. So I'm still trying to wrap that one around my head. I'm like, what did you see on a fade route when you only needed 4 yards? Alvin Kamara was running the football extremely well, 29 carries, 155 yards.
And great game by him.
And he's also your leading receiver, 6 receptions, 60 yards, and somehow he didn't touch the football in that last drive. So, what do you think about that game, man?
Man, look, I don't have much on that. To your point, I don't know how you don't let your number one workhorse all game long touch the football on the very last drive when you need him the most. I really don't get that. But, man, the Saints, that's another team that's just – they're not good, man. They're not good. Bryce Young, you know what? I still think he's lousy. I don't think he's ever going to be special in the league, but I give the young fella credit. He's fighting, man. He's fighting. He says, I'm not going to roll over and give it to you. If you take it from me, you take it from me, but I'm not going to give it to you. Pause. You know what I'm saying? So he's fighting. He's out there playing tough, and he's trying to compete. And that's all realistically we can ask for from the modern athlete, because don't we always talk about the lack of competition in these guys today? So
correct.
I'm cool with it. Yeah.
Correct. They did lose their receiver that got traded away to the
Deontay Johnson.
To the Ravens. Yeah, Deontay Johnson to the Ravens.
Yeah.
But he still, he showed poise in that football game, 16 for 26, nothing crazy, 171 yards, a touchdown and a pick. He only got sacked once, but that last drive showed, I think that was a light for him. Like, okay, I can do this, right? Granted, it's against the New Orleans Saints, but you're still like, I can do this. I can be a good quarterback. It's just going to take me a little bit more time. Hopefully Carolina gets more weapons over there for him to, help him out. Hubbard, had a great time on the ground game. 15 carries, 72 yards, 2 touchdowns.
That's a strong game.
So that'll back you up a little bit to kind of, open up the passing lanes for Bryce Young to be able to throw the football. But New Orleans Saints are just awful, bro. I mean, you start off 2-0, you wash the Carolina Panthers, you wash the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, they were so good in those first 2 games that people were talking about Clint Kubiak as the next guy for head coaching jobs. 2 games in, we don't hear his name anymore.
0-7 after that, bro. That's terrible. That's terrible. Longest losing streak in the NFL so far, and it's not looking like that's going to change anytime soon. They're both at the bottom of the division, and now New Orleans is officially last because they did lose against the Carolina Panthers. As they do have a tied record. So if you're a Saints fan and you're watching this, I'm sorry, but not sorry. You're bad. In words of Dak Prescott, we fucking suck.
Yeah.
All right.
Like
All
Charles
right.
Barkley says, terrible, terrible, and
Terrible,
really, really
terrible.
bad.
I guarantee y'all gonna finish at the bottom of that division.
Facts. Yeah.
Guarantee.
Bad
All right.
football.
Moving on, we have the Titans and the Patriots, both battling for the last seed.
Mhm.
What I was looking for in that game, it did end up going to overtime. Drake May had one hell of a throw at the end
He
of
sure
the
did.
regular game
He sure did.
to send it into overtime, but then
Yeah.
it was a sneaky, great defensive play by their safety for the Tennessee Titans safety to pick them off at the very last play in overtime to seal the deal 20-17. You got anything on that game?
No, not really, other than Drake May's got something. Obviously, he has very little to work with, combined with being a rookie, so that's a tough spot. But he's got something. He's got a good arm. He's athletic. He seems like he's learning. He's got something. He, he's just gonna continue to get reps and continue to develop. But they gotta put stuff around him. They have to.
They got to. You said athlete, 8 carries, 95 yards. That sounds athletic to me. As a quarterback,
I'd
8
say
carries,
so.
95 yards.
Yep.
Your actual running back, 10 carries, 16 yards.
Right.
That's kind of crazy. That's a little bizarre to me. And on top of that, he had 41 passing attempts, and just not enough, for him to work with, like you said, on that offensive side of the football. But you look at the other side of the football.
What up, Bruce?
Oh, excuse me. Tony Pollard. I'm pretty sure Dallas Cowboys miss him. 28 carries, 128 yards. Look good on the ground. Good enough to make Mason Rudolph look like the savior of the football game to, put him at 2-6. But, it was a battle of the bad. But, we finally found out who the worser of the two was. And that ended up being the New England Patriots.
Correct.
Yep. All right, not much more about that game. We're going to move on over to the Chargers defeating the Browns after the Browns went in and defeated the Baltimore Ravens last week. Jameis Winston finally came back to earth, losing 27-10. What you got on that game?
See, you know what happened in that game, right? You know what happened?
What's that?
Jim Harbaugh took care of things for his brother. Hey, you mess with my brother, you mess with me. And
he's the big brother, right? Yeah, he's the big one. He's the older one.
Jim Harbaugh's the younger brother.
Jim is the younger one?
Jim is the younger brother.
I thought he was
John's
the older
brother.
Okay. All right. I had that backwards.
John's the older.
Okay.
But no,
go ahead.
So I'll say this. I'm actually surprised. We know what the DNA for the Chargers is. Well, what Jim Harbaugh wants it to be, and that's a power running team, but they weren't able to get it going the way they would have liked today. They didn't get 100 yards on the ground, even though J.K. Dobbins had a solid game, 14 for 85, 2 touchdowns, right? But Justin Herbert now is where you have, okay, you got a guy like Justin Herbert, because you hear a lot of people saying you have Justin Herbert, he makes a lot of money, and, when you have a quarterback of that quote-unquote ilk, you're not paying him to just turn around and hand it off like we talked about earlier, right? But
correct.
These are the kind of games where you need him, where you can't crank up the run game to where you want. But what does he do? 282 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, right? So he had a big game through the air. Jameis calmed down a bit after the big one. He kind of looked like his old Jameis self, threw 3 picks today. So that's going to get you. That's going to get you. Nick Chubb is back, 15 carries. I like it, but only 39 rushing yards. So that's tough. Cleveland also wasn't able to get the running game going, but just a solid win, 27-10. Chargers took care of business. Solid win.
No. You're absolutely right. Justin Herbert was finally able to flex, right? You're happy to, as a quarterback, happy about that. I mean, if you look at Justin Herbert in the first couple of years he was in the league, he was slinging the football all over the place, right? And then you have Jim. You have Jim come into your on your coaching staff, and that he's a running football guy. That's right. Like, okay, look, Jim, when you need me, I can't throw the football, right? You don't necessarily have, if the running game isn't going, I do have the arm talent. I do have the awareness, the pocket presence to go win us a football game with my arm. And he showed that, 18 for 27, 282 yards, 2 touchdowns. Right. He was sacked 6 times, but that's more credit to the offensive line. And of Cleveland, Cleveland always has a, decent pass rush to get after your quarterback. So no true fault to him, but He connected with Quentin Johnston today, 4 receptions, 118 yards, long bomb touchdown of 66 yards. Looked good, man. Looked good. Got it done. McConkey, out of Georgia, 5 receptions, 64 yards. Palmer, 2 receptions, 63 yards. So he was able to really, will and deal in the passing game to, keep the Cleveland Browns at bay and literally make Nick Chubb irrelevant in a sense, and definitely capitalize on those turnovers. So great game by the Chargers, man.
Yep. So let me just throw this out here. Alohi Gilman, safety for the Chargers, former Naval Academy midshipman. He had an interception today. Left the Naval Academy, transferred to Notre Dame. Go Irish. So he had a pick today. No, he had a pick today. He got one of Jameis's 3. So had to shout that out real quick. Good game overall. A good game overall by the Chargers.
Oh man, like every time if there's a freaking Irish player in there, no matter what the relevance is, they could have had one catch for 10 yards. Shout out Cam Hart, 1 catch, 10 yards.
Also Cam Hart, half a sack today. Go Irish.
Cam Hart.
I forgot.
Oh boy. Hey man, shout out all the Irish players. Okay.
To show these guys love, man.
Irish players, man. Oh man, here we go with this Indy bull.
Yeah, he's a big Miami guy. Speaking of the Go Irish thing, so last week when Cleveland was beating up on my Ravens, right? Derrick Henry crashes through the line, and my guy JOK, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, he squared up with Derrick Henry and he tried to tackle him head on. This is why people make business decisions. He's now on IR with damage to his neck. Yeah, you up on.
That's a crazy.
Get well soon, JOK. Yeah, he tried to square up, and that wasn't the best. That was not the smartest move.
Hey, yeah, that's one guy, bro. You're not trying to.
No,
you're not trying to square up against, man. That dude was built for get the hell out of my way mentality.
Like, now I'm gonna
get out your way. Yeah, bit for tough. F-350. Dually.
Listen, JOK tried to be a warrior, but he lost that one.
No, man. Go Irish, man. But hopefully, the Irish hospitals are very, very good to him.
Very, very good. Yes, I agree.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on over. We're gonna get to the Lions beating the Green Bay Packers 24-14. Maintaining that dominance in that division, sitting at 7-1, pushing the Green Bay Packers back to 6-3. Overall, looked good. Jared Goff, 18 completions for 22 attempts, 1 touchdown. They definitely got it done good on the run game. 32 carries, 124 yards. Ran more than they passed it, and they did one hell of a job against my Green Bay Packers. What do you got on that game?
That game could have been tighter than it was, and who knows what happens if Jordan Love doesn't throw that one bad pick that got returned, that bad pick 6, right?
Bad.
And it's so funny. I think we've had this discussion. When he threw that, I'm thinking, man, that was Favre-esque, because we talked about how he's got some Rodgers, but some Favre as well. And
definitely more Favre than Rodgers.
I said that was the Favre part, But no, man, I think Detroit is, man, they're so good, and it's scary what Jared Goff is doing. And G probably doesn't want to hear this. Jared Goff is legitimate competition for Lamar for this MVP this year. He's really, really good. He's playing extremely well. Yeah, I think he's right there. What is it? Over the last 4 games, he's got more touchdowns than incompletions. Like some crazy stat like that. Like Jared Goff is going off, man.
I think he's had like 11 plus tonight. So it's at 15 incompletions in the last 5 games.
Yeah, it's something absurd.
It's something stupid. It's something stupid. Like the man hasn't thrown a pick and God knows when. Last 5 games he hasn't. Look at him. 18 for 22, Green Bay, 12 for 15, Tennessee, 22 for 25, Minnesota, 18 for 25, Dallas, 18 for 18, Seattle.
There you go.
What am I supposed to do to stop this man? Like, what are we talking about? Worst completion percentage was 72% against the Dallas Cowboys in the last 5 games. Other than that, it's 80 or 100, right?
Bruce, was that this year already? Was that this year?
What's
Baltimore and Detroit? Bruce says we put the belt to him already. No, Jaden Daniels is not going to win MVP, Brandon.
Unfortunately,
see.
he's not.
No, I think that was the last year, Bruce. Baltimore hasn't played.
I think
No, I'm
Detroit
looking at
lost
the Lions schedule. I think that was last year, bro. And I get what you're saying,
It was
man.
the Bucs. They only lost to the Bucs.
Yeah, they only lost to the Bucs. This is an outstanding football team, Bruce. And I'm not saying they're better than Baltimore. I'm saying they're an outstanding team, and I think they could square up with them. They got a lot.
Yeah.
They got a lot.
I think offensively, it will be a battle. It will definitely be a shootout, similar to the Cincinnati Ravens shootout game. It was that's going to be a great game because I think they have so many. That playbook is long and lengthy for the Detroit Lions, and I'm shocked that they didn't bring more stunts and everything out. I mean, granted, we were down a couple of secondary members, but the game could have been a lot closer. Like you said, Jordan Love threw that awful decision throwing that pick six at the end of this first half when we could have went down. We could have went up, not went up, but we could at least made it 10-6 going into the half, but it ended up being 17-3 going into the half.
Exactly. Yes.
We got away from what our strength is, right? Right now, our strength is running the fucking football. And you stop running the football. Josh Jacobs had 13 carries, 95 yards. You give him 7 more carries, what does he do? Right? You give him 10 more carries. What does he do?
Yeah.
You went and got him. You went and got him for a reason. Use him. You know, Jordan Love shouldn't be throwing a football 39 freaking times. I'll tell you that damn much.
No.
This was a game I was just applauding for Malik Willis to get into the football game. At the end of the first half, Jordan Love was clearly hobbled, clearly couldn't get out of the pocket, clearly couldn't scramble like he wanted to. Thanks to that groin injury that he suffered last week against the Jaguars. But you look at how the Detroit Lions were scheming for Jordan Love. Malik Willis could have carved that up because his play action ability, his ability to threaten everybody with his legs, that defense has to step up. You got to load the box a little bit more. And that's what Jaden Reed, Tucker Kraft, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, they can really get those good deep balls instead of Jordan Love just throwing the ball constantly. If I know you're throwing a football, then
Jordan Love can do that as well. They just don't want to call the game that way for him. He can do it. They just don't want to call it. They're like, yo,
I'm not making excuses, Bruce.
$250 million. I'm not saying. I'm not.
No, not you. Excuses. The other Bruce number 2. My bad.
Okay,
Bruce
my bad.
My bad. Bruce number 2.
I got you. My bad. Yeah, no, I think that they just don't want to call the game that way for a guy they're paying all that money to. They're like, nah, you should stand in there and sling it.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. We got one hell of a run. We got one hell of a running back. I do like Emmanuel Wilson. That's our backup. He's a great backup running back, and we're just not like really running the football like we need to, right? I mean,
I think you need to pound it more with Josh Jacobs, man. That was one of the things going into the season I was really excited about for you and for your Packers. I'm like, oh, that was a huge pickup. This is going to be great for Jordan Love. Yeah. They can do a lot of things in the RPO game and in the play action game, but I don't know.
They definitely they need to fix up and clean up this our discipline on the offensive line. If you look at the first half, it was a lot of time. I mean, we kept getting around that 30-40 yard range, and then here we go. We're behind the sticks. It's like we can't let those things happen because now you're taking the run game away from us when we're 2nd and 15. We're 3rd and 11, right? You're taking that run game away from us instead of being ahead of those chains and making it a little bit easier for Jordan Love to make those simple throws and not necessarily have to throw it all across the field. But again, run the football. I don't think I think to me, this was Coach LaFleur's worst coach game this season, in my opinion. Just looking at what we could have done versus what we decided to do, right? They can't risk him running Jordan Love. It's fragile.
Yeah, you might be right.
I mean, and that's the point. Our backup is 3-0. Malik Willis is 3-0. He gets to the game, looks good.
You can't sit a guy that you just signed for what, 230, 225, whatever. What you can't sit him.
And that's what I precisely hate about paying quarterbacks that much.
I get it.
Because you're leaning on that. Like, okay, my job as a coach, right, is to win football games.
That's
If
right.
I know my quarterback is out there hobbled and he
Mhm.
can't dial into the playbook like I want him to,
Mhm.
there's a quarterback right here that can.
That's
Right?
right.
We're going into a bye week. Jordan
Mhm.
Love, you can sit for the rest of the game. You can
Right.
sit down all next week. We can
Right.
pick up practice the following Tuesday, right, to
Mhm.
get you ready for that the Sunday night football game. So that
That's fair.
excuse it was just unnecessary to bring him back when we know he's hobbled, and clearly he was showing it, and he literally couldn't scramble out of the pocket and make any
Mhm.
bigger plays with his arm. But shout
Right.
out
Right.
Detroit Lions, man. I knew this was going to be a tough game,
Mhm.
and they definitely showed why. I like my defense stepping up in the second half to try to keep it close, but
Mhm.
that pick really did just kind of change the tone of the whole game for me. So shout out them Lions, man. Shout out them Lions. They looking good, bro.
There you go.
I got nothing bad to say. As long as it's not the Bears, man, I'm okay.
No doubt. What's next,
Yeah.
man?
We have the Eagles beating the Jaguars.
Eagles, Jags. Okay. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Eagles, Jags, Saquon Barkley, a
Man, listen.
monster, bro.
Monster game.
Monster. That man did a
Making all type of. Thank you. Go
have you
ahead. Go ahead.
ever seen a
No.
backwards hurdle?
And I've watched a lot of football in my
Bro,
life. No.
never seen a
Never.
backwards hurdle. The
Yeah, man.
man turned around and jumped and cleared the. I was like, "Yo, Saquon
Yeah.
Barkley's out of this world, bro." What
Yeah.
is? I'm like, I know New York over there just with the crying face, like, what were we doing? What were we thinking?
Mhm.
The man jumped somebody, a grown man,
Yes.
another grown man,
Yes.
backwards,
Backwards.
and ran for 5-6 more yards.
Yeah.
At that point, man, if I'm the Jags, I'm like, yo, let's just wrap it up, guys. Let's go ahead and just call it a day. But they
Mhm.
fought back. Trevor Lawrence had a
Stinker.
chance to had a
stinker. Go
stinker,
ahead, say it.
but he had a stinker, but he had a chance. All right, he had a chance to win a
Yes.
football
Yes, he
game.
did. And that would have made
Unfortunately,
it like okay. You know what I'm saying? That would have made it bearable.
the numbers would have still been bad, but he
Mhm.
would have won the game, or could have won a game. It was a little bit of time left for Philly to come down and get a field goal, but he
Right.
could have made it 30-28, or 31-28 if they would have went, because I think they'd go for the 2-point conversion there for sure. But
Right.
but Philly got it done, man. 18-24 from Jalen Hurts, 2
Yeah.
touchdowns. Again, Saquon Barkley looked
Easy work.
amazing. AJ Brown again goes down. I'm not sure what the knee injury was. I don't think
Yeah, it's tough,
they haven't
man.
announced anything yet, but curious to see how Philly looks after this, because obviously we've seen them without AJ Brown, and
Yeah.
it's not good.
No, but the way Saquon is playing right now, just continue to play through him.
correct.
And I think you'll be okay. Just continue to play through him. And Jalen Hurts is kind of getting back into being the guy that we all thought he could be, coming out of the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Trevor Lawrence is, do I need to say anything? I'm not even going to say anything because you already know where I am with that.
No,
But I will say it was good to see the Jags competing and not just getting smacked around. Like they lost, but they competed. Now at the end of the day, it's, wins and losses, but they did compete. And I think in this sport, probably more than others, that means something.
no, it definitely meant something to them. I guess if you want to say it, but they couldn't get anything get going for the run game. 18 carries, 60 yards. Trevor Lawrence was the only one to score your 2 touchdowns on the ground. And you look at that, and you look at the other side with Saquon, 27 carries, 159 yards. Jalen Hurts himself outran your entire football team with 67, right? That'll get it done. 46 carries, 237 yards. Green Bay, look at that.
Yeah, that's
Look
what
at
they
those
want to
numbers.
do. You know who they look like?
Do.
You know who they look like in the college world running for those kind of numbers?
Georgia?
Army. Just saying.
So yeah, Jalen Hurts, 13 carries, 67 yards, and a touchdown.
No, really, really good game from Jalen Hurts. Good game from Saquon. Good game from Devontae Smith. So their big three went down there, did the work, came down here, did the work, and that was that.
No, definitely did. And Kobe Dean with the game-sealing interception in the fourth quarter to call it. Philadelphia sits at 6-2. They're number 2. I forgot. Yeah, they're behind Commander. So they're actually 6. They're the 6th seed in the NFC. But that battle
That's
between them and Commanders is going to be very, very
Can't wait for
exciting
that
to
one.
see.
Can't wait for that one.
When do they play? Let me look at this
check that
schedule.
out. Yeah, that's gonna
Because
be
it has to
really
be
good.
soon because they're coming up on the second half of the season. So it's
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys then Commanders. So they're gonna go beat the Cowboys. Gotta
Yes,
beat them in Dallas, and
and
then
then
we
they got to
finally
go to
get to
war
see.
with the Commanders. That's gonna
And
be
it's
a
a prime
really
time
good
game,
game.
8:15.
Oh,
Ooh,
it
beautiful.
deservedly so.
Oh,
Deservedly so. Can't wait
it's a
to see
Thursday
that.
night game. I
Okay,
stay correct. It's a Thursday night game.
oh, that's gonna be good.
And
Nice,
Commanders got a
nice
very, very
standalone.
short week.
That's good. Yeah. That might be tough because, well, the good thing is they're gonna come out of Dallas with a win. So
Yeah,
at least they're not gonna be coming off a. So as long as they're healthy, man, they're gonna match up really well with Philly. That's going.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Philly
Yeah, I
has to
like
go
that.
to
It's gonna be good.
Commanders, then
Mhm.
the Rams, the resurgence, and
Yeah,
then the
yeah,
Ravens. So that's going
that's
to
right.
be good. That's going
Oof,
to be a tight schedule for them.
jeez.
Then after that, they
Oof.
got the Panthers. That's going to be a dub. Then they got the Steelers, and then Commanders again.
Mhm.
Then the
Well,
Cowboys.
we know
So
they're gonna
Philly
split
has
with
a
the Commanders. So
yeah. They
yeah,
got a tight little schedule coming up on them. So
Mhm,
that's
mhm.
going to be an exciting division to watch them.
Yeah,
Coming out this year.
yeah, and it's so funny, man. I don't know about you. I think we both had the Commanders third in the division before the
Yeah,
season started.
we did.
And now
Yep.
it looks like they have a legitimate chance to win the thing. So,
Yeah,
man,
I think I changed mine to Philly 1, Cowboys 2, Commanders 3, and then I had whoever is
mhm.
left over there 4th.
Well, there you go.
Thou who shall not be named, the New York Littles. All right, moving on up, moving
Right.
on over. The Cardinals
Um,
spanked the Bears and Caleb Williams.
Yo, the Cardinals are such a weird team. I cannot figure them out. I can't figure out Marvin Harrison Jr. He'll have one game, 100 and some, and then today would he have like
2
two
for
catches for
34.
34? Like I can't figure them out. But you know what? The Cardinals are. This is that weird NFC West. This is a division that just has to play out because we have no idea what's going to happen here. They're all
True.
like bunched right around the same record. 4-5,
Literally.
5-4. They're all bunched right there. So we don't know what's going on in that division. But
Right now they're leading it.
yeah.
They're leading it
Wow.
5-4. Chargers 4-4. San Fran 4-4. Seattle 4-5.
Mm-hmm.
They're right next to each other. Literally, It can go anywhere. It can truly go anywhere. That's gonna be a battle tested division. The run game for Arizona definitely just carried them all the way in. 34 carries, 213 yards on the ground with 3 touchdowns to add on to that.
Yeah.
And you would think Kyler Murray was a part of it. No, he only had 6 of them. So James Conner ran the ball well. Trey Benson, go nose, ran the ball effectively.
That's right.
The Mercado ran the ball effectively. So they really just threatened that Chicago Bears defensive line. Like, yo, we're going to run it down your throat and ain't nothing you can do about it.
That's right.
Right? That's literally what they did. The defense for the Arizona Cardinals held Caleb Williams in check. Just over 50% completion percentage. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Didn't let him get anything done on the ground. Sacked him 6 times. You really held a rookie in check. And I think, Arizona showed that.
Right.
Definitely showed that. So shout out them Cardinals, man. Beat the Bears. Keep them at bay, bro. Just keep them at bay. Right now, let the big boys fight. We're upstairs. We're fighting. Kids, stay downstairs. Okay. Detroit, Minnesota, Green Bay. We're fighting. Stay in your lane, Caleb. Go play with your nail polish. Okay. Stay in your room. Close the door. We'll let you know when we're done. Right.
Yeah, go make a salon appointment or something. Yeah. Do that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Going back to the staying in the NFC West, the Rams and the Seahawks. Boy, the Rams, Matt Stafford and his weapons came back, and boy, is he showing his rear end. Pause. Not much on the completion percentage, but that dart he threw in overtime to Demarcus Robinson was just elite. Right?
Yes.
That was elite. And that goes to show you, I think we had this conversation earlier this week or last week. Somebody said that Matt Stafford isn't that good. Why is he getting he gets too much credit? That's why we say Matt
Yeah.
Stafford is good, right? He's
Yeah.
good.
No, he is. That's the topic for another day. He is good, but I think sometimes he is overrated. But again, topic for another day. And quietly, I believe Geno Smith is leading the league in passing yardage. So,
Is he?
I believe so, yes.
I'm gonna look that up. Keep talking. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, I was about to do it. But yeah, no, I'm looking at rushing. Okay,
No,
passing.
yeah, he is.
There you go.
Geno
Yep.
first,
Mhm.
Baker second, CJ Stroud,
Baker,
Aaron
Baker.
Rodgers. Wow, that's a shocker. I didn't even realize that. Aaron Rodgers fourth in passing yards. Geno is leading the league in passer yards.
Mm-hmm.
You know who's leading in rushing?
Oh, Derrick Henry.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to make
Yeah.
you smile a little bit, man. There you go.
No doubt.
Derrick Henry over there. Josh Jacobs sitting at fourth. Why won't
Yeah.
right there? Piss me off, right?
Saquon at second, quietly doing his thing. But yeah.
Don't make me mad.
No, I think so. The updated numbers, Lamar Jackson is actually second in the league in passing yards now. I'm on NFL.com. Mm-hmm.
Is this not counting today? Okay, you're looking at NFL.com.
Yeah. So he's second.
Yeah,
And he's going downfield, 9.3 yards per attempt. So that's what's pretty right there.
Because that run game opens up the big play.
Yes.
That run game is definitely opening up the big plays. Zay Flowers caught it was a 60-yarder. I think it was a 65-yarder or something like that. It was a big play. But it's plays like that that changed the game. Lamar leads in passing. Okay, so he is leading in passing.
He's either leading or he's second. I'm looking at the NFL.com, and it's got Lamar second. But regardless, the point is Lamar is right there. So, But look, where were we? Rams and Seahawks. So Geno's playing well this season, but it's not necessarily translating. By the way, for the Seahawks, JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba, he's good, man. He's good.
Is he?
He's doing his thing.
That's Ohio boy, right?
Ohio State, that's right.
Yeah, Ohio State. Yeah.
Yeah.
7 receptions of 580. Just nasty work over there.
Yeah.
Nasty work. Kyron Siren, go Irish. 22 carries, 69.
Yeah, he didn't really go off today. But you know what I love though? They are intent on feeding this guy the football.
They really
that tells
are.
you he is a really integral part of that offense and what they want to do.
No, he really is.
Yeah.
He really is. I thought Blake Corum would have got a little bit more love today, but
I thought so as well.
Just one carry.
Yeah.
What was it? Did Puka Nacua punch somebody?
Yeah. I think he got ejected for that too. Why you would punch someone in football is beyond me, but okay.
Why did he? I need to go find that video. Why
because
did he
this
punch
is a
somebody?
testosterone fueled sport. That's why.
Yo, throwing hands. This
Bruce,
ain't boxing, brother.
I don't know about Zay Flowers becoming a legend, man. We'll see. I don't know about that though, but they are doing a really good job getting him the football in space and allowing him to be a playmaker. But I think personally, and I could be wrong, I think he'd be better as a number 2 if you had a true number 1 on that team. That would be crazy, but we'll see.
Like if Edgar Allan Poe was to come over there, he would have been definitely number 2.
Right. And I think that would really unlock Zay Flowers if he was number 2 with a true dominant number 1 on the other side. I think that would be crazy. But again, we'll see. But yeah, so Seahawks take that L to the Rams, and this AFC West continues to be the damn barroom brawl that we expect. So this is serious, man. This is
straight
serious.
Beer bottles all over the place. Just
Yeah, man.
Cracked over the head.
That's right,
man.
Yeah, but Geno has to chill with the turnovers, though, man. He said he had 3 picks today, 3 touchdowns and 3 picks. That doesn't help you,
No, absolutely. You can't keep giving the ball away and then expect that.
Think about it. Better. You give the team 3 extra possessions that probably lost you the game. We talk about it all the time, man. These turnovers will beat you. So
and I think there was a fumble in there too. Oh no, he recovered it. Never mind. He fumbled the ball, but he got it back.
But he got back on it.
Yeah, he got back on it. Okay.
All right.
But no, and that's it.
That is it. Okay. Yep.
Why I feel like this was a short week?
I don't know. Who had to buy? Pittsburgh had to buy.
Pittsburgh had to buy. San Fran.
Yeah, we did get through everything. That was quick. The only thing else, man, tomorrow night. Oh my God, Baker got to go deal with Spags with no weapons. This is
it's kind of it's curtains.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
It's curtains.
I can agree with that.
It's just not going to be good for him.
No,
like I said, this may be one of them games where Kansas City finally looks like, okay, God damn, they're a problem. But again, Baker, he's not going to battle them.
Yeah.
They're going to dial up massive amounts of pressure on him.
Yes, sir.
To get him out of the way early.
That's right.
And what's left of the Buccaneers defense is gonna it's gonna be tested by Patrick Mahomes. Hopefully, man, DeAndre Hopkins can get it going. I want to see him get it going.
Yeah.
This will be his second game as second game as a Kansas City Chief. So gonna be exciting to see if he can get it going and get some chemistry going.
Bruce, what makes you so sure that Baltimore is gonna get to the Super Bowl? I do not trust Todd Monken. I'm not saying they won't. I'm saying it's very hard for me to be confident in him when he keeps blowing these games that they should win because he wants to be cute. I don't have the confidence, man. What makes you so confident that Baltimore will be in the Super Bowl? It would be amazing if they are, but what makes you feel that way?
I'm curious on what that answer is going to be too.
Man, yeah.
All the same thing last year out of the Baltimore Ravens. They looked good.
Looked great.
14-2?
14-3, 14, yeah.
14-2, 14-3.
14 games last year, yeah.
And went up against that one guy, that one man.
One guy, yeah.
And it's that one man that always goes.
Destiny. Come on, Bruce. That's not
Destiny.
All right, man. You got it. Okay.
The game's in New Orleans. What's Destiny? What's Destiny about
that? You know what it is? Bruce said, if I say anything other than that, I can't go to the store tomorrow.
Gotcha.
Bruce, I live in B-more. I can't.
Gotcha. Yeah, if you live up there, it's Baltimore's winning every game.
I know,
They're winning every Super Bowl. Yeah. You can't go to the corner store, man. We saw what you said on the Format Podcast. What you mean? What you mean we can't beat Mahomes? What you mean we can't beat Mahomes, bro? What you mean, dummy? Get out of here, dummy. Stupid. Yeah, stupid.
Oh my goodness. Oh man. All right, man. So wait.
Bruce,
wait.
Flip-flopper.
Flip-flopper. Nope. I'm objective. I am objective. When I talk about this stuff, I keep it a buck. I'm objective when I talk about the Celtics. I'm objective when I talk about Notre Dame football. I'm objective when I talk about the Ravens. That's what I do.
In fairness, he is.
Yes,
I'll give you that, Bruce.
Yeah.
If it's about the Celtics, you'll give him
all
the
those
heat.
teams, but you have to be able to look at this, step outside of being a fan and look at this thing properly. And again, I'm not saying that the Ravens can't get it done. I'm saying I don't have confidence in that play caller up there in the booth. That's my biggest issue. But we still have the remainder of the season to find out how that will play out. So we're gonna
have y'all played Pittsburgh yet?
Really, Bruce? All right, you're good. No, we have not played Pittsburgh yet.
Ooh, that's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
I think those are gonna be some exciting games right there.
I agree.
Pittsburgh defense, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson,
Ooh,
that's gonna be some beautiful football right there.
Buckle your chin strap. All right, Bruce. Appreciate you. All right, y'all. We are gonna cut it off right here. And don't even we're gonna oh, my bad. I was thinking something else. We're gonna call it a night, y'all. We'll be back with you on Wednesday. If you haven't already, no matter who you're voting for, go out and vote because it is your civic responsibility. I'm not even getting into the politics other than to say, go do it, man. If you look like me in Transformer, a lot of people fought for you to have that right. And realistically, even if you don't, a lot of people fought for you to have that right. Transformer, myself, G, we all did that. So go exercise your rights, man. However you want to go, that's your business, but go exercise your rights. So we'll see you guys back on Wednesday. Have a good one between now and then. Peace.
Go Pack, go. Laker Nation.